football rankings. Brand new rankings came out last night. So we're going to go through these top four as well as the two on the bubble. We've got number one, Georgia. They have remained the same and undefeated at 11-0. 10-1, Ohio State went up 2 spots after stomping Michigan State. Number 3, Alabama. They are 10-1. They moved down 1 spot. And drum roll, please. Cincinnati, who was 11-0, moved up into that 4th spot. Finally, everyone said amen. Number 5, Michigan, 10-1. They moved up 1 spot. And then 10-1 Notre Dame in that 6th spot, moving up 2. Arky, give us your initial thoughts. Oh, really quick, though. Oregon fell 8 spots to number 11 after their loss to the Utah Utes. And Michigan State fell 5 spots to number 12 after that disastrous loss to Ohio State. So, discuss.
Yes, so Cincinnati being in at 4 is not a surprise because this committee has shown that it can do sort of whatever it wants. Right, so you can give the credit to Cincinnati for being 4, and they have earned at least the number 4 spot throughout the season. Because again, it's really difficult to go undefeated. Look at the teams that are ahead of them. How many of those are undefeated? That's one of them. Okay, so it's tough to do it no matter what conference that you're in. That's why there's like 3 teams left, and UTSA is another one. Who, by the way, did move it all in the rankings. So yeah, screw you rankings and screw you playoff committee. So here's the thing: Cincinnati being 4 is fine. Alabama moving from 2 to 3 is interesting because it does set up a scenario if Alabama loses in the SEC championship game that there could be enough momentum for them to completely miss the college football playoff. Because remember, the discussion has been if they lost, if they're number 2 and Georgia's so good, should they still deserve a spot? So it does put that into play a little bit as well. It also puts this week's Ohio State-Michigan game into some ginormous focus because you already saw it coming down the pike already, and now it's got to turn into an even bigger matchup because one of those 2 teams, if they continue winning out, is going to be your Big Ten representative in the college football playoff. So that's kind of big. I will just say this about Cincinnati real quick. Remember the very first college football playoff ranking, TCU was ranked number 3 in the country going into the last week. The Big 12 did not have a conference championship game, so they played their final opponent. I think it was Iowa State. I could be wrong. They won that game by 52. They dropped from number 3 to number 6 or number 5 and number 6 and didn't even get to play by winning by 50. Because partly they say the Big 12 didn't have a conference championship game, and they said Baylor and TCU were co-champions. So they got jumped by just about everybody they could because Ohio State beat Wisconsin. I say that to say the committee can say whatever they want about Cincinnati now. What matters is what comes up in 2 weeks after rivalry week in the championship week, which you can make an excuse for anyone to be in that 4th spot. I do also think it's interesting to watch Oklahoma State as well because Oklahoma State's in the Big 12 championship game. And if they beat Oklahoma, they're going to find themselves against likely Baylor in the Big 12 championship game unless Baylor also loses. Even then, you're going to have a ranked team to play in the Big 12 championship game. They might have 2 wins against ranked teams going into the final poll. That may be an interesting thing to watch out for as well. So it's good progress to see. It's good to see a group of 5 team get into the top 4 to say that glass ceiling can be shattered. But the number 4 spot is a very, very tenuous spot, to say the very least. It's why the committee sucks. It's why you can't trust it. It just sucks.
Yeah, don't get too comfy.
Yeah, because you would think, right, Kayla, like if they just keep winning, they should not drop, right?
You would think.
Yep, that's not the way the committee works.
Always keeping us on our toes, that college football committee.
Yeah, I hate them.
All right, well, this ranking got us thinking about another ranking, and that is Thanksgiving food rankings. Obviously, the big day is tomorrow. I'm starving already thinking about it. So we've broken down our Thanksgiving feast rankings with our 1 through 4, as well as the 2 on the bubble. Arky, do you want to take this first? Or you want me to go? This is very important.
I can start.
Go for it.
I think the number 1 team in all Thanksgiving is Turkey. It's the best team in the best conference. It's clearly like the main dish for a reason. And if you don't season it right, I can see why you would want to drop it down in the rankings. But that's on you being the weird committee member for not ranking it so high and seasoning your turkey correctly. You can't blame the turkey for being unseasoned, you can only blame yourself. So they're the number one team in my book. Number two is stuffing, not dressing on the stove, stuffing inside the bird's butt. That's where you do it. That's where you get all the flavor. That's where all the sweet tastiness comes from. The stuffing is very, very deserving 2 seed. They got the best resume, really, of all the side dishes when you look at them. Number 3 is gravy. Gravy's a dish. Gravy is a great, great dish. It goes on almost everything out there. It passes the eye test, in my opinion. It looks good, and it also passes the tongue test, which not a lot of football teams do, but gravy actually does. And number 4, getting in, is pecan pie, baby. Pecan pie. Now, they are very, very, very good, but they're untested because all the other pies are trash, son. They're trash. They're trash. Pecan pie, by comparison, pecan pie. And now, just on the outside looking in, if something were to happen, like someone didn't bring pecan pie, then you're looking at cranberry sauce. Now, that should be a mainstay. Cranberry sauce, not out the can, made. It's super easy and simple to make. Don't bring that garbage that's in a can to my house. If it do, I will gladly uninvite you from that day and from future Thanksgivings. But don't worry, I got the cranberry sauce handled in my house. And just on the outside of that looking in is pumpkin pie. Because pumpkin pie is a good pie, but not better than pecan pie when you just look at the resumes in the side-by-side. So it's turkey, stuffing, gravy, pecan pie. That gets into my playoff. Cranberry sauce and pumpkin pie are just on the outside looking in if one of those doesn't show up.
I love it. I love it. I went a different route. I feel like you forgot one very important thing, and that is my number 1, mashed potatoes. You didn't have any potato on your list.
No, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, you got the butter, the garlic, the salt and pepper. You dip your turkey in it. Mashed potatoes are absolutely number 1. I love a good starch. I feel like I had to put turkey at number 2 because it's kind of its big day, you know? So turkey number 2, even though, I don't know, sometimes you can mess this up if it's too dry. Clearly I haven't had an Arky turkey because you sound fabulous. Turkey number 2. Number 3, I love greens. I need some, like, at least something semi-healthy, even though it's not really healthy with what I do with it. Brussels sprouts have really made a push in our Thanksgivings in recent years. But no, the trick is you douse them in maple syrup. You cook them in bacon. You put them in the oven until they're nice and crispy. You've got the sweet, the salty. It's delicious. If you don't do Brussels sprouts, then I also like a good bacon wrapped green bean, also in like a brown sugar sauce. Again, these are not super healthy. They're just very good. Number 4, I am with you there. Pecan pie, that gooey center coming warm out of the oven with that vanilla ice cream dripping down it on top. I'm all about it. That is my playoff. On the bubble, I've got number 5, rolls. You gotta have bread, Arky. You didn't have any rolls on yours? Come on. This is actually really good when you mix some parsley, garlic, and butter on top, and then you put them in the oven. That cooks on top. They come out. They're delicious. And then number 6, I have stuffing. It's not my favorite thing, but I know it's a part of Thanksgiving, so I felt like it had to be included. It is what it is. I like stuffing. It's not my favorite, but we're going to throw it in there anyway. And that is my Thanksgiving food rankings.
Okay, so my hope for a college football playoff has every conference champion getting in. And the pushback is always, well, yeah, you may get a 4-loss team that wins the conference that goes to the playoff. That's what you're giving me with Brussels sprouts making it to the playoff. That's a 4-loss team that somehow won its veggie conference. That is, what is that?
Have you had Brussels sprouts that are soaked in bacon and maple syrup and cooked till they're crisp?
No, but I've had maple syrup and bacon, and they're both fine. I don't know why you got to ruin it with Brussels sprouts.
It's good, trust me. The bitterness kind of goes away. I don't know. You can do a lot of stuff with Brussels sprouts. This year, I think I'm going to try to make a Parmesan garlic Brussels sprout. We'll see. There's so many different things you can do.
Everything's good if you put enough cheese, ranch, or maple syrup and bacon on it. Yeah. I can eat this chair if you put enough cheese on it.
I'm telling myself it's healthy, so just let me have that.